I have to say something, and I won't sugarcoat it. I'm seeing something in the world right now that disturbs me deeply, about my fellow men, about our souls, about how far we've drifted. We're insulated from our true nature, numbed, compliant, caged. And if we don't wake up soon, we'll forget we were ever wild to begin with. We'll forget that nature is who we are, that we have roots which stretch deep down into the earth. Spring is turning the season. There is this fresh life in the air, a beauty that pulls you deeper. The trees blaze a raw primary green right now, which will soon deepen in fullness as the summer progresses. This isn't only rebirth, it's the cycle of transformation that we have the honor of experiencing every year. But I sit on a bus, and 80% of the guys around me are glued to their glowing screens, not noticing, not breathing all the life in, like drones, shackled to a flat culture of digital noise and algorithmic identity. And I think, is this it? Is this what manhood has become? A few years ago, I went on a retreat, a week in a field in a tiny tent with no electricity, no screens, and no noise, except the wind and the fire. We rose to the sound of a gong before dawn. We meditated in freezing silence, the air visible on every breath. At night, we gathered around the fire with no talk and no music, just the moon, the stars, the flames, and our own thoughts for company. The wood smoke seeped into our clothes, our skin, our bones, and something came alive. I remembered who I was, who we all are. Here's the thing. We've only lived in cities and behind screens for the blink of an eye. For the vast sweep of human evolution, we were wild. We were hunter-gatherers. We walked barefoot with the earth beneath us and the sky above. We knew the pulse of life in our veins. And now we've traded all that for Wi-Fi and Instagram likes. We've become compliant, overstimulated, undernourished shells of who we really are and who we could be. And so we scroll and obey, hoping someone else will fix the mess, still too afraid to say, enough. We ghost our own discomfort. We're terrified of silence, of solitude, of facing the truth in front of us, facing the bare bones of life. The Buddhists say everything conditioned is impermanent. What's certain is that you will die. What's uncertain is the time of your death. Could be tonight. Could be 60 years from now. But let that truth hit you. Don't flinch. Don't look away. Feel it. Sit in it. Let it burn away everything false. Because when you finally stop running from death, you start to live. You stop obsessing over text messages to Tinder dates who won't respect you. You stop trying to perform your way into people's affection. You stop hiding behind fashion labels and filtered photos. As Tyler Durden said, you are not your job. You're not how much money you have in the bank. You are not the car you drive, and you are not your car keys. You are not what you've been sold. You are a child of the wilderness, a being made for fire and storm and the open sky. You are built to feel, to risk, to face down the unknown. So let me ask you, when was the last time you stared at the stars until you felt small enough to cry and alive enough to howl? When did you last sweat in the lodge, jump in the icy lake, light the fire, and walk alone without a map? When did you last sit in silence without numbing, distracting, escaping? Look, I'm not here to preach minimalism or monkhood. I'm not asking you to abandon society, but I am asking you to be awake. Because the modern world will give you every tool to avoid waking up, to avoid yourself. It'll hand you screens, substances, validation, and noise. It'll sell you everything except for soul. And most of us are buying it. I spoke to a friend the other day who said he's never slept in a tent for one single night in his whole life. That's not shameful, but it is kind of tragic, because something primal is waiting for you in the darkness of the forest. Something real is waiting in the wind, in the cold, in the wild. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's vulnerable. But discomfort is not your enemy. Discomfort is your return ticket. This moment right here is all you'll ever have. So stop trying to please everyone. Stop auditioning for love. Stop waiting to be chosen. Choose yourself. Choose now. And stop chasing some future fantasy of happiness that's just another distraction in disguise. Nothing lasts. No thing will complete you. Clothes fade, muscles shrink, tech gets outdated, your latest social media status will instantly be forgotten. But presence, that stays. Courage, that echoes. And wonder keeps you human. William Blake said, "He who binds himself to joy does the winged life destroy. But he who kisses joy as it flies lives in eternity's sunrise." So maybe today is the day you kiss joy as it flies. Maybe you sit still for once and feel what's really there. Maybe you put down the phone and let the wild back in. Feel the earth, smell the fire smoke, breathe in your own mortality like oxygen. Because only then, when we remember that we were built for firelight and truth, for solitude and wonder, for grief and gratitude, only then do we really come alive. The world doesn't need more perfect men, it needs more present men. More real, more raw, more grounded. This is your invitation, to remember who you are, to return to the wind, the ocean, the mountains, and the forest, and to live every single day like you mean it.